Hey MCS Jets and anyone else that may be watching. I'm already back with chapter 6, Dr. Doolittle. I'm still at the pool. Still haven't gotten in the pool like my kids have asked. Maybe after this chapter I will, I'm not sure. In the meantime, since I'm sitting here at the table, I thought we should get our read on. That's what we're supposed to be saying, by the way, every time. I keep forgetting it, but I need you to say it with me. So we need to get our read on. So let's get our read on with chapter 6 of Dr. Doolittle. All right. Polynesia and the King. They all went a little way through the thick forest. Then they came to a wide, clear space. There they saw the king's palace made of mud. This is where the king lived with his queen, Ermintrude, and their son, Prince Bumpo. The prince was away fishing for salmon in the river, but the king and queen were sitting under an umbrella before the palace door. The queen was asleep. The doctor came up to the palace and told the king why he'd come to Africa. "You may not travel through my land," said the king. "Many years ago, an Englishman came to these shores, and I was very kind to him. But he dug holes in the ground to get gold, and he killed all the elephants to get their ivory tusks. Then he went away secretly in a ship without even saying thank you. Never again shall an Englishman travel through the lands of Jolinginki." Then the king turned to some of his soldiers. "Take away this medicine man with all his animals and lock them up in my strongest prison." So 6 of the soldiers led the doctor and all his pets away and shut them up in a stone dungeon. The dungeon had only one little window. It was high up in the wall with bars in it, and the door was strong and thick. They all grew very sad, and Gub-Gub the pig began to cry. "Are we all here?" asked the doctor. "Yes, I think so," said the duck. "Where's Polynesia?" asked the crocodile. "She isn't here." "Are you sure?" said the doctor. "Look again. Polynesia, Polynesia, where are you?" "I suppose she's escaped." "Well, that's just like her," grumbled the crocodile. "She sneaked off in the jungle as soon as her friends got into trouble." "I'm not that kind of bird," said a voice. Then the parrot climbed out of the pocket in the tail of the doctor's coat. "You see, I was afraid they would put me in a small cage. So while the king was busy talking, I hid in the doctor's pocket, and here I am." "That's what you call a ruse," she said. She smoothed down her feathers with her beak. "Good gracious," cried the doctor, "you're lucky I didn't sit on you." "Now listen," said Polynesia. "Tonight, as soon as it gets dark, I'm going to creep through the bars of that window and fly over to the palace. And then you'll see, I'll soon find a way to make the king let us all out of the prison." "Oh, what can you do?" said Gub-Gub the pig. He turned up his nose and began to cry again. "You're only a bird." "Quite true," said the parrot, "but do not forget that although I am only a bird, I can talk like a man, and I know these people." That night, when the moon was shining through the palm trees and all the king's men were asleep, the parrot slipped out and flew to the palace. She popped in through a hole in the pantry window. It had been broken by a tennis ball the week before. Then she tiptoed up the stairs till she came to the king's bedroom. She opened the door gently and peeped in. The queen was away at a dance that night at her cousin's, but the king was in bed fast asleep. Polynesia crept in very softly and got under the bed. Then she coughed just the way the Dr. Doolittle would cough. She could sound like anyone. The king opened his eyes and said sleepily, "Is that you, Ermintrude?" Then the parrot coughed again, loud like a man, and the king sat up, wide awake, and said, "Who's that?" "I am Dr. Doolittle," said the parrot. "What are you doing in my bedroom?" cried the king. "How dare you get out of prison? Where are you? I don't see you." But the parrot just laughed, a long, deep, jolly laugh, like the doctor's. "Stop laughing and come here at once so I can see you," said the king. "Foolish kings," answered Polynesia. "Have you forgotten that you were talking to John Doolittle, M.D., the most wonderful man on earth? Of course you cannot see me. I have made myself invisible. There is nothing I cannot do. Now listen, I have come here tonight to warn you. If you do not let me and my animals travel through your kingdom, I will make you and all your people sick. For I can make people well, and I can make people sick, just by raising my little finger. Send your soldiers at once to open the dungeon door, or you shall have the mumps before the morning sun has risen on the hills of Jolinginki." Then the king began to tremble and was very much afraid. "As you wish, doctor," he cried. "Do not raise your little finger, please." He jumped out of bed and ran to tell the soldiers to open up the prison door. As soon as the king was gone, Polynesia crept downstairs and left by the pantry window. But the queen, who was just letting herself in at the back door with the key, saw the parrot getting out through the broken glass. And when the king came back to bed, she told him what she had seen. Then the king understood that he had been tricked, and he was very angry. He hurried back to the prison at once, but he was too late. The door stood open, the dungeon was empty, the doctor and all his animals were gone. That's the end of chapter 6. Don't forget, Jets, even if you're home, to get your read on. All right? Next Splash Pad story time is next Thursday, July 12th at 10:30 a.m. Please try to come. I love you, Jets, and I miss you, and I hope you're having a safe summer.